Good morning, Flosstube. Welcome back. My name is Stuart. This is Stuart's Stitches. Today is Sunday, the 17th of August 2025. Another Sunday has rolled round with amazing regularity. You think I'd be used to Sundays rolling round after all these years. And this is Flosstube number 37. This is a channel about cross stitch, although we occasionally make a foray into other crafts, as we will today. A wee chat about some knitting and crocheting I have on the go. Now you haven't seen them for you, so I thought I'd just catch up with those at some point during the video, so watch out for that. To my existing viewers who return regularly and spend time with me on a Sunday and during the week, welcome back. It's always good to spend time with you, give you a wee update on what I've been working on, what's been going on. And as always, please do share below what you are working on and anything else you might want to talk about in the comments. It's always wonderful to read all the comments. I love the engagement and I generally manage to reply to everybody, usually around about the day or the day after they've posted, once I've read through them. So please do. There's lots of M's so far, that's not good. I'll have to try and stop that. Let's, it says... So please do comment below, let me know what you're working on. It's always interesting to know. It always says scurrying off to eBay, to Google, then probably Etsy after that. My Etsy basket and my Etsy favourites are beginning to fill up nicely, which is always good. To anybody who is new to the channel, welcome aboard. Thank you for subscribing. I do hope you continue to enjoy what I'm sharing with you. And again, comment below, let me know you're there. And to anybody who has just stumbled across it through whatever means that YouTube chooses to employ, welcome aboard as well. I hope you do enjoy what I'm sharing with you. Give me a thumbs up. In fact, if they do, give me a thumbs up if you like what I'm sharing. It's always positive encouragement. Positive feedback is a great thing. Do think about subscribing if you like it and you want to see more. Ring the bell. You'll get notified when I post, which generally is every Sunday morning. If you want to get in touch with me, there's a comments below as I've mentioned, and there's other ways as well. Instagram, Stuarts and Stitches, and there's email, stuartsandstitches@gmail.com. Both of these links will be in the show notes below in the description box. We've quite a full programme this morning to get through. I'm busy looking down at my notes. We have whips as usual. We have a couple of things off the shelf of surprises. I thought I'd have a wee chat about full coverage and show you a couple of my full coverage whips that you may not have seen. A little bit of haul. As I said, we'll talk a wee bit knitting and crocheting. A little bit about plans, although plans, I'm not quite sure what my plans are yet, but we'll have a wee chat anyway. Fake plans. And I think that'll probably give us a good chunk of an hour to spend time together. Right, anything else I want to talk about in the intro, in this little section here? I don't think so. I'm sure things will come to me as we go through the video. You know, I do like a little digression here and there. I'm just looking out the window just now. It's grey this morning. We've got the Har in. Har, H-A-A-R. I live sort of just in from the east coast of Scotland in the central belt, more towards the eastern end of it. This will burn back during the day, so it's supposed to be another lovely day today. My berries this week weren't so much razzled as frazzled. Pam, see what I did there? We had Tuesday and Wednesday were very, very hot. And this fair-skinned ginger, when he had hair, Scottish boy, does not cope well with anything that's verging above 25. And it did. It was roasty toasty, if you like roasty toasty. And the wasps certainly did. Oh my goodness. However, various wasps met their demise and have gone to their equivalent of glory at the hand of a crushed piece of kitchen roll or some Raid spray. It's always a common thing where I live just now because I went down to Asda to buy some spray. There were 2 tins left, only 2. There were about 5 minutes later there were no tins left because I'd bought those 2. Anyway, moving on, let's have a look at whips. So we'll do temperature stitching first as usual. Ooh, just get my neck comfy in this cushion at the back of me here. So my temperature stitching, take numbers 0 to 9, that's 10 digits. And apply those digits to 10 whips. Then each day I have a look at the BBC weather app, see what the high is for that day and take the second digit of that number. So if it's 19, then I take 9 and that tells me from memory that I would be stitching catching rays that day. And on the project that is picked for that day, I would do 100 stitches or thereabouts, or stitch for an hour if I'm not wanting to count stitches. And then it goes away. When I first started this in January, and I can't believe we're halfway through August already. Where has this year gone? Anyway, when I first started this in January, it was going to be, they would come out for 10 times, and then they would go away and I would rotate into something else. So that did happen for 2 or 3 months, but then I decided, oh, I might as well keep them out for a bit longer, because some of them will hopefully get finished. Some of them are creeping closer to a finish, so I thought I'll keep some of them out until I've either reached a suitable stopping point or I get a finish out of it. And I do enjoy the temperature stitching. That hasn't been done as every day this week. A couple of things didn't prevent me from doing it. I could have made myself carve out some time and do it, but it's stitching. I don't need to carve out time for anything. It is a hobby, not a necessity. Well, yeah, it is a necessity. Put my teeth in. I brought water upstairs, by the way. I don't know where it's gone. I'll go for a hunt for that in a second. I'll put you in pause just shortly until I go and find my water. And I do enjoy it though. It's making great progress. It's amazing what you can get done if you pick a piece up regularly with 100 stitches a day. Tremendous. So, without further ado, let's have a look. Oh, there's one thing I forgot to write down. I want to show you one of my wits. I see it over there, that's alright. Hang on, just till I put this down. Now, it will be forgotten. If I don't, I'm at that age, if I don't write it down, I forget it. I take it as a bonus if I walk into a room, I remember actually why I walked into that room. Such is life as one gets older. So, temperature stitching as usual is no particular order. It happens to be what I pick up from the pile beside me first. And the first today is Love Lives Here by Country Cottage Needleworks. This is that piece there, a very nice piece. The light's a bit dodgy in here today, so I've put Mickey Mouse on. So there's, hopefully it'll brighten things up for you. So this is being stitched on my trusty label on my fabric, piece by fibre in a whim, 32 count lattes. I've had 1/8, using all the called for threads. Rather pretty. Nice. I love this red, by the way. Where is it? I can see the camera, I can't find it to pick it up. I don't do reverse. There we go. A lovely red. Which reminds me of something to say just in a second. I won't write it, I should hopefully remember. And here's where we are. So this week when this came out, I did these two, I don't know, picket fences, I suppose one would call them, to get my 100 odd stitches in. So it's coming along. So basically this, all of this is replicated over here. Then we've got the house in the middle, and we're done. We'll have a finish out of this. I'm very pleased how that's coming along. It's looking so good. So it's been stitched 2 over 2 using the called for threads on 32 count. Loving it. Yeah, that's what I was going to say that came to mind there. Volume. Thank you all you who commented positively on the changes I've made in my editing, and that the volume has much improved. That was great to hear, so thank you for that. Kelly, if you're watching, thank you so much for the tip you gave me on the editing tool that you use, I use, which roughly translates as we both use the same editing tool, and where to look in the settings to sort that out. I will hopefully remember to do that today. So thank you. And I'm glad everybody's hearing it a bit better, so that's good. I wouldn't want you to miss out on my dulcet tones and my pearls of wisdom that might issue forth. Snort. Right, what's next? Oh, aye. Right, I'm going to put you in pause so you can find my water. Hold fire. And we're back, and I didn't actually stop, so I don't have to. I just remember to pause it this time. I'm not going to have to join 2 videos together like last week. I found it at the bottom of the stairs. I'd gone into the sound to pick up something before I came up here to do the recording, and there it was. I'd swept by it on my way back up, totally ignored it. Anyway, we have water now, so we're all good. Right, so that was Love Lives Here, which got 109 stitches. Next one up. This is an old favourite from Dimensions, been on the go for a while, quite a popular piece called Fall Fairy. Artwork is by Ruth Sanderson on this one. Oh, there's Mickey. Anyway, let's see if we can get the reflection. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yes. It's going to be fun with things with reflections. Ah, but there you go, the idea of where we are. And I am over in this quadrant up here. So let's see. So this has been stitched with everything that comes with the kit, with the number of threads that are required for all different, for the back stitch, cross stitch, half stitch. I haven't done any back stitch yet on it. It can be 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what dimension kits are like. Anyway, where did it work? Oh aye. Right, it's a 16 count Ada. As you know, I'll stitch on anything me. I really do, I'm not a fabric snob. I like, as long as it's regular count, I'm regularly counted, as in even counted, then I will stitch on it. Ada, linen, even weave, you name it, I'll stitch on it. I don't really mind. As long as it holds thread and I can count, we're fine. So here's where we are, and I was working up over this corner here. It's kind of our hair. So I'm very pleased how this is coming on over the years since it was added in. I do like the dimensions kits. I love the detail you'll get, especially. You can even see, like, there's a butterfly, for example, down here in this yellow stream that's coming forth from her. But yeah, I do like it. So that got what did that get this week? Fall Fairy got 104. Right. Put that back in its box. Try not to cut myself in the plastic. These deep dimension kit plastic boxes or plastic things, containers, whatever it is, they can be lethal with those sharp edges. Next up, favourite seems to be is Scary Sampler. I'm so pleased to quite a few folk have been encouraged, motivated to buy it. So I'm looking forward to seeing all the new starts that will be coming along. Take note. Please do. If you don't do Flosstube yourselves, then please do think about maybe dropping me a picture of your progress. I'll be very interested to see. I love it when people do that. A couple of folk sent me some progress pictures last week. There was I showed Fairy Grandmother chart from Lavender Lace. Somebody showed me the companion piece of Fairy Dreams, and it looked beautiful, the work they've done on that. Anyway, Scary Sampler. Here we are. You all know the story behind this, and now I say it every week. It's all the references to pop culture and well-known books and other good things. Stranger Things is mentioned, which is opposite, given that is coming back to our screens in November. Bleak House and Jane Eyre, Great Expectations, all the classics. So I'm really enjoying stitching this on my rustic drab. I love that day with the fabric. It always makes me smile. And I'll show you where we got to. It's quite a big piece, by the way. I was counting along and thought, oh, that is actually going to take up a fair bit of this fabric I've got, which is a fat quarter. There's a lot of stitching to go into this. Alright, let me get, there's some hanging threads, which I'm sure you'll cope with. And where are we? Wait a minute. I want to see you as well. There we go. So here's where we are. So I've just been working the coffin. The skeleton's getting outlined, but that skeleton will get stitched in. It's just in relief at the moment. And we have this up here is getting filled in just now. Well, then we'll fill in the skeleton, then we'll just work. I'm not sure I'm going to work up or along yet. I haven't made up my mind. We have options. But there's what it's looking like so far. So this is 36 count, and it's been stitched 1/2 using the called for threads, which are all the overdyes. There's a mixture of all sorts. There's Weeks, Classic Colourworks, and there is a Gentle Arts one, Raven. This is the right thread pack for it. I'm going to mix my thread packs up. There we go. So that's good progress this week as usual. Very pleased. That came out twice, I think. Wednesday and Sunday. So it was 115 plus 104 is 219 stitches it got this week. So that was good progress on it. So I wouldn't have got otherwise. If I wasn't doing temperature stitching, it wouldn't have seen the light of day this year probably. So it's great to get some exposure. Right, oh, and there's one more. Bag with one of my favourite fabrics. My peacock fabric. Made by well, the fabric's not made by my no unfair hands, but the bag is. This is one of mine, and I've just shown you what's in it. Cardinal Kin. So this is temperature stitching for one. This came out on Friday. I would hit 22. So Cardinal Kin, Plum Street samplers. You can see it. There we go. So just cracking along. I think I started this last year. Did I start this last year at the stitching retreat? No, it would be the year before I started it, I think. Hey ho. I remember a few of us bought it. Tammy has finished it, as I recall. I haven't yet, but we're working on it. So this is one of the ones that will stay out till I finish. Fall Fairy, that I showed you, I'll keep that going till I finish that quadrant I'm on. I'm just creeping along and sort of filling it in and going up till I finish that bit of it, and then we'll make a decision on what happens next. But here's where we are in Cardinal Kin. So what did I work on? That this leaf here got me my 100 odd stitches this week on it. Let's go from this side, there we go. So that's coming on rather nicely. I'm very pleased with how it's looking. So with Mummy and Daddy, we've got wee babies going to come in up here. And then it's just some leaves and some snow and berries, and then this will be done. But it is rather nice, I do like it. And that's been stitched on a piece of hand-dyed linen from West Green Loft Yarns, and it is called October Club 24. Oh sorry, that's when it came out. It's called Chalk, and it's a 32 count piece of linen. And I'm stitching that 2/2 using the called fors. The pattern there's scope to stitch the pattern twice. There's a muted version and a less muted version. I've lost the chart, I've lost the cover page. I've got to put it back in here. Oh, I did. There we go. I've come to the front. There's a couple of other things in here I forgot about, actually. I discovered this the other day. I thought, oh, I must show these. I'm sure I've shown them before. We've got Autumn Cottage. Oh, there we go. Autumn Cottage. That's rather nice. Threads organised in the back. We've got a 2024 Prairie Schooler, which I haven't started yet. And we've got Yuletide Delivery. So these are all on the dance card for some point. Amazing, you find the bag when you go digging. You think you found everything you got, and then you realise, I mean, it's never ending. Right, that was those whip. That's a temperature whips. Next one up is an old favourite for everybody these days, Saga. So why am I stitching Saga, you want to ask? And I'm so pleased you did. We're stitching Saga to support Andrew in his marathon training. We have 2 more weeks to go of this, I think. What's this? Is the 17th, so 18th, week of the 18th, week of the 25th. 2 more weeks of it, yes. So Andrew's training for us. Andrew lives in New York. The runner stitcher, I'll link him below in the video where he talks about the challenge. And he's training for the Sydney Marathon in Australia. So he'll be flying out to Sydney at some point, not the coming week, but the following week, I imagine. And as part of his training, he's set up a hashtag whip into shape. So not only is he whipping himself into shape with his running, although he is fairly lithe anyway, he has picked one of his own whips, which I think is Fruits of Plenty from Jacob at Modern Folk Embroidery, to put progress into. And the idea is that he has posted a spreadsheet with his training schedule on it, mapped out day by day. And for every mile he runs, the expectation is you will stitch 10 stitches, or if you don't count your stitches, you will stitch for the length of time it took him to run that day. So if he does 3 miles, that's 30 stitches, or half an hour to run 3 miles, then you stitch for 30 minutes. Or you can adapt to suit yourself. So I am doing 100 stitches a day for every day he trains, and I picked Saga from Long Dog Folk Embroidery. No, there's a mashup. Long Dog Samplers, the one I picked. And I have been working in the bottom arch. Let me get my tablet. I'll show you the project in question. It's a well-known project. I'm sure my regular viewers will know exactly what I'm talking about. Oops, no, you want to see the progress on this. You do want to see the progress. You want to see a pattern keeper though. You mock up. Here we are. I've tilted that way. There we go. So I've now effectively finished this arch here, and I'm starting to creep along. So I've done over 10,000 stitches in this now since the challenge started in May. And I can't believe we're coming to the end of it. So I will, come the end of August, I will be stopping this for a while because I don't want to sicken myself of it. So it will be going away for a while. Oh, just took that thread out of the needle. It doesn't matter. It's easy enough to get it back in. That's what needle threaders are for. Right. So 100 stitches a day when I'm just training. I take full advantage of the rest days and I use that for another piece which we will be seeing shortly. We have now reached, progress-wise, roughly about 10,000 stitches. 10,100, it tells me. A nice round number. I do like round numbers. And here is what it is looking like. Now sit back and revel in that gloriousness. Let's just take a moment to enjoy. I can sit and just look at this. I love it. So this week I did all the back stitching in here. So I finished the trellis work. I've done this wee, whatever's going on up here, wee man in the flag. And there's a couple of creatures crawling around down here and there. They're now filled in. And for most of the metallics, I haven't used it for the birdies in the archway. Using a Vera Soie, which went quite well. This is a Vera Soie metallic. What's it? It has a number. Hold a second. Hold that thought. 326 is called. There it is. And it does. It's a nice, slight variegation on it, and it does sparkle. Trust me on that. It sparkles. As I see, I'm now working along this arch here. I really should do this boring bit along the bottom. So I've got a day retreat next Saturday through in Castle Carey, organised by the Scottish Stitching Retreat. And so I'm going to take this because a couple of the girls there have asked to see this, so I thought I'll take it with me. I don't think I'm going to work on it that day yet. The decision of what I'm working on has not yet been made. I could make it today, but I could have changed my mind about 5 times come Saturday. They say a week is a long time in politics. You have no idea for stitching. But I'm so pleased with how this is progressing. I've thoroughly enjoyed doing the challenge on this. I will put up a picture somewhere, maybe if I remember, of my starting point at the start of the challenge when I was kind of about there. But I'm so pleased with how that's coming on. Oh, I did that wee bit up at the top there. I had some thread hanging there, so I just started filling in above the arch. I'm using the Silks for You on this, PR034, and I'm stitching it 1 strand over 2 on a piece of 40 count. I think it's a vintage country mocha from Zweigart. So that can go away now. Right, what else is there? Another regular thing that will be appearing now is a chart from Stitches So Beautiful, which I'm just scrolling up my pattern keeper till I find the guilty party. So this is called Frost and Velvet. It will look like this. Stunning chart. I am down here, and this one I'm doing cross country. And it's a challenge every week to do 250, and then at the end of the month, the lassie who is Stitches So Beautiful will then give us a chart, which is a nice thing to do for something that we all enjoy doing anyway. So this has been stitched on a 28 count piece, 1/1 using CXC threads, and there's where we are. So we're just over 500 in this now, I think. So where are we? So I post every Friday to the group for this one, and then I work in it on Andrew's rest days. So I am now at 672 stitches out of 360,000, giving me 0.19%. And there's where we are. Oh, I don't know if you can hear that. My stomach's having a wee symphony to itself at the moment. There are great gurglings going on. So it's coming on not bad. I'm very pleased with how it's looking. Not that it's looking like anything yet, but it's always the same. Early days in the full coverage, you just have to take it in faith that something is actually developing. So pleased with how that is. So that's that one. So it's been a busy week stitching one way or another. I mean, Thursday I didn't get any temperature stitching done because I don't know what it is on a Thursday nowadays. It seems to be busier for some reason or other. But there we are. The world didn't come crashing down because Stuart didn't get his temperature stitching done, so that was always a good thing. What else did I work on? I spent a day in Larry's piece for one more, the mermaid letter. Hang on till I get the bits for that, which are kind of round about my knees somewhere. Hang on. Here we go. So it's this one by Nora Corbett. There we go. It's looking not bad. All fancy threads in this one, so they are the fancy threads. Classic Colourworks. It's looking a bit saggy because I've loosened the tension on my scroll rods, but here's where we are. So this has been stitched in a 32 count piece of opalescent by Jodery, who no longer is doing her fabrics and threads, sadly. And I wanted to get the hair finished, so that's now done. So that got rotated out for a few days this week to replace by what I'm going to show you next. But that's coming on not bad at all. Very pleased with how it's looking. Nice hair there and nice fin. So that's that one. You hear a car engine, it's just next door. I've woken up and decided they're going out. I think folk would know about my recording schedule and keep quiet. Hey. Right, and the other piece I worked on this week, this is the final piece. No, it's not. There's one more piece to show you. This is the other piece I'm doing as a Christmas present. This will be turned into a book cushion, a la Jen's mother's remarkable finish. Jen's mother is a skilled finisher of finished objects. And when she showed this, I thought, oh, I've got that chart. I'm going to do that. So here we are. This is just one more chatter from Pantini Pantini and Other Lies I Tell Myself. So this week I did these set of books here and this lamp. I did that lamp on Friday night. And it's very effective actually. I'm really pleased with how it's turning out. So I'm stitching this with Royal Broderie threads. So not only will I stitch on any fabric, I'll use any threads. I'm not precious about it. I enjoy stitching. And I'll stitch with whatever materials I can get my hand on. So there we go. I did a wee mistake down in here which has been corrected. So that was alright. So very pleased how that's looking. That's a 32 count piece of linen. Easy count. Is it easy? Is it even weave? Hard to tell actually. I think it might be even weave. Feels like even weave. So very pleased how that's coming on. There's not much more to go now in this, to be honest. There's the chair there in the middle, the wording, a clock, and another book. So this will not be finished in August. So I don't think any of these Christmas pieces present pieces will finish in August. So I suspect my sampler September may not be quite as samplery September as I had hoped. Because I really do want to get these finished. However, we'll see. See what happens. Right, so there was that. And then yesterday I had a stitchy day at a friend's house along the Central Belt. I set off yesterday morning about 8:30 along the Central Belt. The M8 was busy. That time of the day, the M8's no right to be busy. So it's off to Donna's. She organises the Scottish Stitching Retreat, which takes place in March and November, and there's got the day retreat, which I'm going to next week. So we set up to have a wee stitchy day together today. So it was nice being there, catching up with her and Alan, her husband, haven't seen him for a wee while, and the boys. So all was well. We had a lovely day. I went to Tim Hortons, had a French vanilla latte. Thank God there's not a Tim Hortons anywhere near me here. That would be so dangerous. I not quite inhaled it, but that didn't take long to get down my throat. No comments in the back row, please. Let's keep it clean. So yesterday I had a new start. A new start? What a cheek I've got. So my new start was, if you remember last week I showed you the haul that I got, which part of was a Lilliput Lane kit, which was that one, Porlock Down, quite a popular piece. So I made a start on that yesterday, and I was working over this wee section here, as you will see. This has been stitched in the provided materials, which is 14 count Ada and the anchor threads. There's a thread on a needle here, which let me just, I really can't take that out of the way, I'll just put it down here. I was stitching in hand yesterday because it was easier than taking my frames or anything with me, and so that was why I just reclined back on the couch and stitched and blethered. Drank copious amounts of coffee and coke and had nice food. It was a very nice day all in all. So thank you, Donna, for that. I enjoyed myself. So here's where I got to on that. So it's quite handy. This is a wee piece of travel stitching. It's easy to do. Somebody's filling the recycling bin. I hear the clatter. So that got progress yesterday. So well, I got a new start yesterday actually. So that's all the whips this week. I think we're good on the whip front. Right, what are we showing next? I'll just set these here so they can just stay there now. What have I got next? The shelf. The shelf. Right, here we go. So a couple of things I hauled off the shelf today. The shelf of surprises. Basically, I'll just put my hand on. There's two shelves. I've got all my stuff that's kitted up or it's charted with maybe part of the kit in it. And I just pull something out. So today we have Teresa Wensler and we have a Dimensions kit. So there's the Carousel Horse series by Teresa Wensler. She did 4 carousel horses, plus there is a full carousel one. So this is summer. There was somebody's estate sale on eBay. Somebody was selling off all the cross stitch. This lady who had passed was selling off all her cross stitch kits, and I was able to get at least 3 of these carousel horses from that, which I was delighted with. So that's summer, and it came with everything that was essential to do the making, everything necessary for salvation, as they might say. So there's some glittery thread. And there's blending filament, that Satan's tooth floss. Did I put a wee start in this? Oh, I did. Aye. So I put a wee start in the border, just so as when next time I pick it up, I don't have to do any counting. I know I can just start. So this is on the provided for, which will be a 27 count even weave. So it's 27 count Linda. Using the called for threads that were provided. These are they. This is these were done at the point I discovered using. I came across the idea of using keyring fobs on a stitch holder. And so these are this is the palette that is used then to blend. So there's quite a lot there. But then by the time you blend it, there's even more colours to be played with. So there's that piece. So that will eventually, God only knows when, that will come out to play, because I like it. See this blending filament? It's going to be the end of me. So that can go back in there, and so can that. What's the key like for this? I can't remember. It's always good for a giggle. Here's the key. It's a good question actually. Where is the key for this? Sorry, I'm busy delving. Maybe some time before I raise my head up. Oh, what's this? Oh, here we are. Oh, aye. Right. I'm trying to show it without showing the chart that's lurking. There we go, you get the idea there. There's a key. And there it is. Blends forevermore. As one would expect with Teresa's charts. It makes them so beautiful. And so challenging. Right. That's that. So I can go back over to the top of the laundry basket. And the next one I have is a Dimensions kit, which I have actually started. This is Balloon Glow. And that one there. Lovely. I love these balloons, these hot air balloons. I think they're tremendous. I'd love to go up in one day. I think the reality may freak me out, but the thought is very nice. So what have we got here? Oh, I have edged the fabric. I think this looks like I found the zigzag stitch in my sewing machine at one point. I've done quite a lot in this actually. I'm quite impressed. Well, I remember I stopped because I was at a stage where I was using 5 threads and a needle, and see, trying to pull, I was cramping my wrist trying to pull the thread, and I thought, I don't want RSI my wrists for my stitching. That's going to be a proverbial pain. So I stopped. But now that I've discovered you can use wider-eyed needles, this will get picked up again at some point probably. But there's my progress. So I've done quite a lot. As always with dimensions, it's very effective, isn't it? This is on the called for, whatever the called for is. The artwork is by Nikki Boehm, Boehme, for those who were interested in such things. And it is being stitched on, I have no idea. Looks like 18 count. It's a gold collection, so it is likely to be 18 count. It'll be 16 or 18. It's very nice. So that was the shelves this week. It's always a surprise. I'd forgotten I'd started that. Well, I'd forgotten I'd done so much on it actually, so that was encouraging. I think I was doing that when I was still working. I used to sit, because I was working from home mostly in the latter days before I retired, which became a retirement at the end of 23. And for since lockdown, basically, I think 95% of my time was spent working from home. I worked in IT for one of the big 4 banks in the UK, so all I needed was to be able to log on, and I was good to go for my work. I used to stitch a bit, certainly when I was in conference calls or in team calls for that. If all I was doing was there just to listen, I would have my stitching to the side of me, like over here, and I could just sit and listen and stitch and chip in as and when my name was mentioned. I don't think I ever get caught out. Not that I know of, anyway. Right. Haul is... Oh no, it's full coverage next... no, I'll do haul because it's on my lap anyway. I got this off D-Stash on Facebook. It's a blue flower chart called Halloween Parade. Janine McGowan, the designer for Blue Flower. Another one of her lovely charts. That's what it's going to look like. And there's a kind of flattered picture on the back. It's all DMC. And what does it say? Strange things are seen on Halloween. I have no idea. See, I'll look at this window. It doesn't need to be Halloween to be strange things to be seen, let me tell you. And I see some of the things that go past this window. Aye. Right. No judgment here, says he, lying through his teeth. Full coverage I thought I'd have a wee chat about next. I was going to show you 2, but I'll show you one. I'll save the other one for next week, actually. Well, I'll see how the time goes. We're about 37 minutes. Depends how I want to, if I want to rant or not, or talk. So, I've got a couple of full coverages here to show you that you haven't seen from me before. This I started in 2018 when Carl came out of hospital having gutted like a pig to remove his appendix. I don't know who was more traumatised, him or me. So this is a Thomas Kincaid piece from Heaven and Earth Designs. I think it's one of the first ones Michelle charted for that. This is just regular size. Santa's Workshop. Lovely, lovely piece. I do like it. I'm stitching this on the diagonal and parking, so be prepared. There are a lot of part threads. And progress on this is 20,598 stitches out of 375,000. It's not that big actually, 375,000, and that gives me 5.49%. It's one of my charts that's quite a good way through. It's a bad thing when I say one of my charts is a good way through when it's 5%. This is being stitched in 32 count something. I think I'm stitching this 10 stitch. I must hang on till I get up now a quick gander. Aye, 2/1/10. So it's Catherine. This is one of my carpets. Oh god, aye. it feels like tapestry. It's wonderful. Catherine will know what I'm talking about. One of my friends who records on here as well and stitches. Right. Here's where we are on this. I love it. It looks so good. I love to see the teddy bear. And it's coming along so well. You see the fire embers there, and the tongs at the side, fire tongs, the fire set at the side. And there's a carpet there. And there's part threads by the ton. But I'm so pleased how that one looks. This is before I found gridded fabric. So this will be persevered with on this. It looks like the coverage is tremendous. So it should be in 32 count. And it's all part, the threads are parked here, there and everywhere. So the reason I picked up full coverage was I get quite a lot of comments from people saying that how impressed or amazed they are at my full coverage pieces, which kind of leads me on to wonder what people think about the difficulty of full coverage. Because to me, excuse me, someone just dropped. To me, full coverage I think is the easiest form of stitching you could ever get. It's just lots and lots, and maybe a lot more, X's one after the other. There's no back stitch, there's no specialty stitches, it's just X, 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 X from beginning to end. And the only thing that's different is the size of the piece. But like eating an elephant, one bit at a time. That's all it is. You just pick an area and you stitch. If you're a stitcher who's keen on finishes, full coverage probably, the big ones like this, are not for you. If you're a process stitcher, hi there, team process. Full coverages are amazing. You get progress and you get the pleasure of your stitching. And for me, I don't care if I finish it. If I finish it, well and good. I've nowhere to put it. I'm not going to pay to get it framed, I don't think. So I just love the stitching. I've just seen the picture develop. And full coverage is not difficult. Once you get used over the thought of the size, you just focus on the page maybe you're working on, or the diagonal, or however you choose to work on it. There are many ways of working in full coverage, and I use them all. I'm not thrilled to one method. If it depends what I feel like. I'll park, or I'll stitch in a diagonal, or I'll stitch in columns. My tension's not tight, so I generally do not get lines between the columns. And now that I'm stitching for my master set, I have all my CXC threads sitting on hoops to the side of my trolley. If you go back to my tour video a couple of 2-3 weeks ago, you'll see them hanging in my trolley. And I just stitch from that. Now, for the ones that get kitted up in floss drops, then that's it. You can bobbinate them and put them in one of the DMC bobbin boxes. And a DMC bobbin box will hold a regular sized head. You might need a couple of them for max colour. If you're doing supersized, again, that's fine. I love supersized now. Michelle brought out 2 charts this week, an Amy Stuart one and a Sarah Marchetti one. If I remember, I'll put pictures in at 42 minutes 54 seconds, he says, going to her pen to write that down. 42.54 FC charts, FC being full coverage. An Amy Stuart one and a Sarah Marchetti, both of whom I love their artwork. I'm going to bide my time. Somebody somewhere will request supersized max colour of those, because both those charts will benefit from it. And when they do that, I will buy them at some point after when they're released. So there's that. That's my thoughts on full coverage. It's nothing. Once you go over the thought of the size, I mean, when Michelle brought out supersized max colour, I looked at that, I thought, I'm not touching that with a barge pole. I don't know what I'm doing with that. Yeah, no, that ship sailed. The bigger, the better for this boy. And the other one I thought I'll show you is, let me get the chart for this. I loaded these into Pattern Keeper before we started. Where are we? This is our Randall Spangler one, another one of my favourite artists. I like the colourful. Well, I like all the charts I've got. I like them whether they're colourful or not. So the mock-up. This is Home is Where the Magic Is. There it is. That's the mock-up. Lovely wintry one. My favourite. I love winter. See, Carl and I were out for a walk along the back path this week, a couple of days in the hot weather. I say I love the sunshine, the blue skies. It says, but drop this temperature down to at least 0, or at most 0, and anything below, please bring the frost. So on this piece, I am at 3.95%. I am at 13,203 stitches out of 333,900. I was obviously going through my diagonal phase at this point. diagonal parking because it's on the diagonal and there's a lot of part threads again. And how am I stitching this? Is this? Oh, and I was also going through my 2/110 stage as well. All my phases combined into one. And here's how it's looking. So again, I think this is 32 count. I was going through a 32 count phase. Madness. So it's 2/110 using... Oh, this was kitted up properly. This is using DMC. Not that I'm saying that other threads aren't proper, but this is before I realised about CXC and all that. So when I didn't have so many full coverages on the go. So we've got a brick wall here, someone sitting on it, there's a tree creeping in, there's the paving slabs with the light falling on them. The confetti is real, as you can tell with the part threads. Pattern Keeper is a wonderful thing because at least when you're parking your threads, you can indicate on Pattern Keeper where they are, and I think the same on, well, I think Markup XP must be the same because it is a requirement for stitchers. You need to know where you've parked your threads. Everybody's asked me about parking as well. Parking's dead easy. All you do is stop where the thread next occurs in the next, depending on what block or if you're working in blocks, diagonals, whatever your next section is where that thread occurs. If you're not going to stitch at that point in time, you just put your thread up at the first where you would start your stitch and leave it there and mark it as such in the chart. It looks absolute nightmare in the fabric. You've got threads here, there and everywhere. But when you comb out that block you're working on when you come to it next, then they're all there marked and away you go. Again, it's no difficult. It's just, I know folk get, they don't like seeing all these threads hanging, but that's another story altogether. For me, that doesn't bother me. I'll actually like seeing them all hanging like that, parked, ready to go. It makes me smile. I'm dropping things left, right and centre here. Oh, come back here. You can go over there now. Right, so that was my full coverage. I hope that answers some questions I've been getting about full coverage for you. There's not, for me, there's nothing daunting with full coverage. I've got over that now. I just like it. It's just lots and lots of X's. I use CXC threads on mine because it's cheap and I like to have lots of full coverages on the go. If I was restricted to DMC and I live in the UK, then that was never going to happen. Not at 90 pence to £1 a skein. Any questions, anything I've shown you, full coverage or anything like that, please ask away in the comments. I can usually source an answer from somewhere, either from my own experience or I can go and do a bit of digging quite happily. And if you want to know if whenever I get anything from like my CXC threads or all that, just drop a comment. I'm happy to share where I buy my stuff. It's fine. I love our community, so happy to support. Right, knitting and crocheting is next. Something a bit different. I'll put pictures up of what these will one day look like. You may remember some time ago I was talking about my knitting, starting a Stephen West piece. I'm going to pause a second. And you're getting the benefit of the neighbours, whatever they were talking about outside there. Right, so you may remember I showed you a piece I'd started knitting by Stephen West called Dotted Rays. So I started that in a kind of green and red. I was lying kind of round about me in some wool. And I got the idea of how it hung together. I made a wee mistake. I ripped down and I thought I'll restart and I'll do it a bit brighter. So I thought, well, something a wee bit cheerful. Aye, here we are. Isn't that wonderful? And I decided for each section I just change colour. And I love the fact I've done that because you can now see how the chart develops. It's narrow over this side and then as you do your short rows it widens over this side and that's how it's going to go. So it's a mixture of yarn overs and short rows to get the effect. But I thought if I do those two, I hadn't realised I was going to get that effect on that. So I was so pleased. So it's just a double knit wool Stylecraft on my size 4mm circulars. So we'll keep that going. I think it's good fun. And I love that pink and orange. No idea what we're going to do with it when finished, but I'll put a picture up showing what the finished product will look like. So there's that, which has to go back downstairs because that sits on the couch to get worked on. And the other thing I was going to show you I was something around, you hadn't seen it for a while after watching Jason Cross Stitch, who showed some of his crochet this week in his video. I thought, oh, I haven't shown my blanket recently. So this is Cowboys and Aliens from, now take a moment to rejoice in the name of the designer of this eyelash. I just love this name. The Snake Oil Strumpet. Snake Oil Strumpet. There is nothing not good in that name. So, where are we? Where's the top? Where's the bottom? Oh, right, here we are. I'll need to wheel back a bit because there's a lot of blanket going on here. So this is mosaic crochet, and there's a lot of it. I'm just going to weave it up and down a wee bit just to give you the flavour of the piece. So as you can see, it's called Cowboys and Aliens. It's a mashup of different themes between aliens and the cowboys. So you've got space guns and things like that at the bottom there. We've got a kind of westerny theme going on, and then some boots. And up here where I've just started this pink section, there's going to be a big spaceship somewhere appearing. And I've got my stitch markers in just so as I know where I am. Stitch markers count the pages in the chart. So I'm working this from a chart, a diagrammed chart. The chart also comes with the written instructions as well, but I don't mind working from the chart for this. The chart is 186 stitches wide. This, so each marker is at a page stop. I love mosaic crochet. It looks so difficult, but it's not. See, each row in this is just one colour, and it's how you overlay it with the double crochet and the single crochet. That's American terms as well, if you're wondering. But it's great fun. Let me stand up. I love that western scene. It's nice bright colours, it's so cheerful. So there you go. That's Cowboys and Aliens. Again, I'll put a picture up somewhere. What section is this? 51 minutes, about 50, around about 49, 50 minutes section for the knitting. I hope that didn't bore you too much. I know you're here just for the cross stitch, so I hope you quite enjoyed that little foray into the other crafting that I do. It's always good to have more than one string to your bow, I feel. Right, where are we? 52 minutes, that's good. So plans. I'll do a wee bit more on my Pantini piece that I showed you. I'll probably then go back to the E for Aleri. I'm just trying to alternate them week about. Temperature stitching in Saga will continue. I've still got 2 weeks of Saga to go for Andrew's training. Good luck, Andrew, as your training draws to its end. I hope you reap the benefits of it when you're in Sydney. I'm sure you will. I'm sure you'll do well. You've done your training very sensibly, I think, coping with injuries and all sorts. What else is in plans? I'm just going around and see what else I've got lying about. My stitch is so beautiful that needs another 250 stitches this week, because I've done about 130 of them so far. So I just need to finish that off, which I'll probably do today at some point. And I think that's it for plans. What else is happening this week? I'm off to the physio, the NHS physio in Bathgate on Wednesday for my shoulder. I have a trap muscle which is making itself known. I don't know what's going on there. However, we'll see what she says to me on Tuesday, Wednesday even. Friday, my pram is going away to get its first ever service. So it's heading up to Dunfermline, just over the water and up a bit over the Forth. They're coming to pick it up and take it and bring it back to me. I need it back that night because on Saturday I'm off to Castle Cary for the day retreat, which I'm looking forward to very much. And I think that's it. That's quite a full week this coming week, which is fine. The week will zip past as usual. Anyway, that's everything for this week. So thank you for spending time with me. As always, I do enjoy this recap of what has gone before, kind of reset, ready for the new week. Comment below, please. Let me know what's going on, what you're working on. Send me off scurrying and Googling and playing an Etsy and seeing what's what. I hope you have a good week. Lots of stitching in, and I'll be back with you next Sunday to give you an update on what's happened this week and tell you what happened at the day retreat. So happy stitching, everybody. Thank you. Bye.